What is up, guys? MiniBean75 here, and today I am back with another episode of Minecraft Creations. This, guys, is going to be the castle from Gargoyles. It's actually called Castle Wyvern, and it's on top of a skyscraper that is called the Eryie building. If you've never watched Gargoyles, please go on Disney Plus and watch it. This is a show that I loved as a kid. So I actually was just recently going through and rewatching it. At least if you're going to watch it, watch the first 5 episodes. It's all basically the same thing. It's called Awakening Part 1 through 5. Basically, that kind of tells you the story of the Gargoyles. This show is actually a really, really good show, and the nostalgic factor hit me hard. But basically, the whole point of this, why there's a castle on top of a skyscraper, is the whole point of the show is that back in the year 994 AD, basically these there were only 6 of them left, that gargoyles that got basically a spell was put on them that basically they would remain stone for the rest of time until the castle rose above the clouds. So in the show, David Xanatos, this guy who has a lot of money, basically moves this entire castle and puts it on top of his skyscraper in New York City. Now, obviously, we don't look like we're in New York City. Basically, this skyscraper is so tall that what I have here is only probably half of said skyscraper. But I had to build it where I could at least get it up above the clouds, because in the show, basically, you could be up on this castle, and you're literally going to be looking at it, and then you just see clouds, and then the next thing you know, you see other buildings and stuff from New York City. Anyway, there's the backstory. If you don't know what it is, go watch the show. Like I said, at least the first 5 episodes, because I still to this day love it. But let's get into the castle itself. So, the front of the castle is going to be over here, which obviously now on the skyscraper, it wouldn't normally get used. But then basically, and there's parts inside that I have done, but I just put netherite in because it's not really necessary. You don't really have to see the inside of a lot of it. And it's so hard to kind of pinpoint what goes where that I kind of left it that way. This section here, I believe they call the inner keep. It's pretty much just a little courtyard area. Then you can go up these stairs, which would take you inside here. Basically, and that's just going to take you basically can come out here, or that one might, and then there's another floor that I put in there, but like I said, it's empty, so it doesn't matter. This is our next section in here, quite a bit bigger. Another just basically an even farther inner keep, or maybe that's the outer keep and this is the inner keep, whatever. But basically this whole area goes like this. Over here, we've got another stairwell that'll go up into that side. Then in here, we've got a small little courtyard like this. Back here is just kind of a little section of just grass. And then in here is going to be the Great Hall. This is the only inner part of this build that I did. Basically because you do see this quite a bit in the actual show. But basically this would be David Xanatos' desk. Well, one of his desks. I know he's got another one in a different portion of this, the skyscraper. This is actually one of the most important parts of the show, this little section here, because that is what holds the book that put the spell on the gargoyles back. It was 1,000 years before the show took place. The show took place in 1994, so it's a little old. It's probably older than most of you guys who watch my content, but I still, like I said, I love it. And then really out of the rest of the castle, the only real important part is going to be up here. Now, these are actually supposed to be the gargoyles. I was trying to see if I could get a gargoyles add-on, or at least just to place them. But unfortunately with the Bedrock Edition, I wasn't able to. Oh, and wouldn't that just be grand? If you guys have ever seen the show, the first time the gargoyles awake on top of the skyscraper, it starts raining. So that to me is kind of crazy that it just starts raining just when I get to them. But this would technically be Goliath, the big main leader of the gargoyles. And then down here, basically then the other gargoyles you're going to have are Hudson, Brooklyn, Bronx, Broadway, and Lexington. Those are the main ones. Then there's a female one, Demona, but she's evil, so we don't really, we don't even talk about her. But the main gargoyles, we have 6. So, yeah, that's going to be the castle portion of the skyscraper. And then if we drop down a little bit, then we can start seeing what the actual skyscraper looks like. Now, for the sake of this, I'm actually going to go throw on a night vision potion, just because under here it gets a little dark and you really can't see what we're looking at. Okay, now you can kind of see what we're looking at underneath here. Wow, that makes it way brighter with the night vision potion on. But yeah, so this is basically how the skyscraper is set up. So on the very top, they've got the castle all set up with like some rocks and stuff underneath it. It looks really cool, all jaggedy. And then we've got these support beams that come from the top. They kind of round inwards and drop down onto a flat surface here. Everything in here that you can see as diamond is actually just supposed to be glass. Between office rooms and stuff like that. And then in here, actually, there was one picture I saw that I think this is supposed to be like an inner courtyard underneath the glass with like a pool and stuff. But with how much work this castle already was, I decided it wasn't worth doing that just because it's such a small, minuscule thing. It's just not, to me, it's not worth it. I think you got to focus on the important stuff, and then some of the lesser important stuff just really isn't that important. And then we'll kind of move around here on the backside. You can see how long it's taken me to fly around, guys. This thing is massive. But then we've got more of the glass here, and then kind of tucked in underneath with our support beams. And then this is just kind of its own little level here, but you wouldn't normally go onto this section. And then down here, we've got a big window that's basically going to be kind of inside or on the backside of that pool area that I was talking about that would have been inside this curve or this tilted section there. Let me get back over here. That's flying at full speed, by the way, guys. This thing's massive. But yeah, then we've got a flat section here. And then back here, down one row, we've got a little helipad. That would basically be where Xanatos flies his helicopter in. And then just through here is pretty much just, it looks cool. We've got pillars and stuff like that, and that brings us out to this flat section. And then, like I said, if we go back up to this one, we've got that flat section there. And yeah, this is going to be the skyscraper. And then down here, we've just got more windows and stuff like that. Now, when I tell you guys that what I have built here is only half of the skyscraper, I'm not joking. This thing, it basically, they made it out to be the biggest and craziest skyscraper that New York City would ever possibly see. But yeah, this is what it looks like, guys. And for mine, for the most part, if you look at pictures, some sections are a little different. It seems like throughout the show's time, they kind of changed it a little bit. So I kind of did a little hodgepodge of everything that I could find to make, in my opinion, the ultimate castle wyvern on the Eryie building. But yeah, so like I said, guys, this is what it is. This is the big build we've been talking about. I hope you guys like it. I know I told a couple people on Patreon that I can guarantee that nobody would guess this, and I think I'm right, because I don't think anybody would have thought that I would build something from a Disney show from the early 90s. But like I said, I went and started watching it on Disney Plus. I found the show, and I loved it as a kid, so I started rewatching it, and I just went, man, I know I could build that thing. So I did. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button down below. You have no idea how much it helps me out. And while you're doing that, you might as well hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. The more people we have subscribed, more often I should hopefully be able to get content like this out to you guys sooner. So, and then with that, guys, if you want to see exclusive time lapses and videos early generally, go take a look at my Patreon account. That link is going to be down in the description. You'll get to see the time lapse of this video, or a majority of it. The time lapse itself is going to be really long. I mean, I think I recorded probably a good 12 hours at least of just building. So by the time I cut all that down, it's a lot. So I've got a majority of it, but I finished it while I was camping with my family over the weekend. You know, you got to spend time with family. So there's the lower part of it, I don't think I have recorded for a time lapse, but the whole castle and a majority of the way down is all recorded. So the Patreon folks, you guys will get to see all that. And then if you want to follow me on social media, those links are going to be down in the description. Mainly Twitter and Instagram normally I use, but I don't really use them that often. The community section on my YouTube channel is the best way to see anything to have to do with the channel, because I am always putting stuff on that. And then if you want to take a look at my online store, that link will be in the description as well. I do plan on releasing a new shirt within the next week or so. So you guys, I will be posting about that once all that comes around. So hopefully you guys want to take a look at that. Other than that, guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.